final segment of today's podcast. Whether you find yourself in the camp where you believe there has to be other alien, or other, at least other life forms, not just necessarily intelligent life forms, but other life forms out in the galaxy, or you believe that God created this, or Allah or Buddha, or whoever, that the source, the creator, created this all for us. Uh, this is a cosmic game of pool, and if the dinosaurs really were wiped out by asteroid, which is I think the current theory, even though that might change at some point, but we know we get hit by asteroids and stuff all the time. We know that it's like Jupiter or Saturn or something, the gravity pulls in other spatial bodies and keeps us from getting hit more often. That helps protect the inner planets of our solar system, and we know how all this works. So in order to survive, because the sun could even explode, we got to move outside our galaxy. But like the planet could become re-rendered uninhabitable by a myriad of things, and if we need to have other colonies in the solar system and beyond, if we're going to survive long term.
That's how winning is done.
If we're going to survive long term into the thousands of years into the future, we're going to have to address these issues. But we're going to have to move into space. Let's get into this article from space.com. Humanity's expansion into deep space is inevitable. Industry experts say, space experts would believe that it's inevitable because that's their ultimate goal. Not that I am against that, but I'm just throwing that out there. There will be a market for humanity's space expansion beyond Earth's orbit, industry experts said. But none of them can predict what form that market will take. I mean, yeah, it's going to be like mining asteroids for resources, colonize other planets, like all kinds of stuff, scientific research. The International Space Station in low orbit serves as humanity's farthest outpost in space right now, but panelists gathered Wednesday, December 6th at the Spacecom 2017 conference here. So this is an older article, by the way. Discussed the future of living and working in space beyond the orbiting laboratory. The predictions of space industry experts are all more relevant after President Donald Trump signed his Space Policy Directive 1 on Monday. This is not about the Space Force. Ordering NASA to return astronauts to the moon, then aim for human exploration of Mars and other solar systems destinations, deep space habitats, and what they might look like. I mean, hate them or love them, like, this is what we should be doing. I hope they didn't undo this, because I know they were doing a lot. They were doing a lot of things fucking Donald Trump was doing, and looking for a vision of the future where we move into space. That's not something that we should stop doing because of partisan bullshit. So it's going to throw that out there. Before the panel, NanoRack CEO Jeff Manbar revealed a new image of his proposed solution, Exion, a collaboration between his companies, Space Systems, L'Oreal, and Space Adventures, working with United Launch Alliance on how to repurpose spent upper stages of Atlas V rockets as crew habitats. Those stages, which carry fuel and are ejected during the space launch process, could attach to the International Space Station or be used alone. So now they're working on a plan to recycle space debris into other workable habitats. That's actually a good plan. We should be recycling almost everything we use. Everything that is recyclable should be recycled. We have spent the last 5 months seeking to convince ourselves and NASA that one can repurpose a spent fuel tank while it's in space. Manbar said at the panel, to our pleasant surprise, it seems very possible, and not only can we repurpose the second stage using astronauts once it's in orbit and convert it into a habitat, but also equally cool to me, you could even do it without astronauts robotically. That's pretty cool. We got the new rocket that Elon Musk used that could be used a few times, but even that has a limited amount of trips, and eventually it'll be spent. And if that rocket can be done the same, it'd be kind of cool. The idea isn't new, he added. The U.S. considered something similar 50 years ago, but the technology wasn't there to safely recycle rocket stages in orbit. Now the Exion collaboration is looking into the idea for a modern age with NASA's Next Step program. I mean, I wonder how far we've advanced this with SpaceX. There has been enough advances in 50 years, and the upper stage of the Atlas V is a good way to begin. That we can now envision sending to LEO, Manbar said, referring to low Earth orbit for habitats where crewed, or LEO, or the warehouses and factories of tomorrow in deep space. We can suggest this as a pathway that's proven, that's commercially efficient, and it makes utilization of what the taxpayer is already paying for. We're now looking at how we could do this in a commercial manner, and one of the clues is that one of our partners is Space Tourism, Space Adventures, Manbar added. Space tourism is probably going to fuel most of this. That's why you had Bezos bringing regular people up into space and stuff. But we'll see how that works. And as I said, I think SpaceX is going to send that Japanese dude to the moon soon. Orbital ATK is, and they're going to put it on VR, by the way. Orbital ATK is also participating in the Next Step program, and their approach to space habitats would design their Cygnus cargo craft as a habitat module that can be added to NASA's Orion spacecraft or a larger space habitat. The final piece for the craft's development is a deeper look into how cislunar could be extended in some commercial directions, said Bob Richards, the Vice President of Advanced Programs in Orbital ATK. It's good that they're working with how to like recycle our space debris and recycle things that we use that we can't, that only have limited uses and stuff, into using other things so they have less limited uses. This has limited uses in this function, but it has unlimited uses in this function. Because we're going to have to start putting more people into space if we're going to start learning more about space, if we're going to start exploring more of space. I would like to see people put on Mars like Elon Musk's trying to do. I'm too old and broken and busted that I'd probably never be able to pass the tests for it. But I would myself would be willing to step foot on Mars. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to die before people get step foot on Mars, and I wouldn't be the first trip. I would only go when people have successfully gone there because I'm not an idiot. Well, I don't want to say an idiot because somebody has to pave the way, and it is a dangerous frontier. The people that braved the frontier of this country, that established the western provinces, they weren't retarded. They weren't dumb. They knew the risks, they took the risks, and because of it, our generations and future generations, as long as we can keep everything going, are going to benefit from it. And space travel is not going to be the same. But if I live to see a day where I can travel to Mars, I'm going to try and go. I mean, maybe I'll be too poor, maybe I won't be, maybe I'll be too old, but we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be required. Aliens a no for the future of humanity. I'm just fucking saying. Thank you for checking out this clip of my Thought of the Day podcast. You can catch this podcast every Tuesday through Friday at that'sonpoint.info by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's how winning is done. New clips go out daily, and we can't do this without you, so we appreciate your support. With that being said, consider joining for $5 a month, and you get early access to the uncensored version of this, early access to our weekly That's On Point podcast, and access to exclusive content only for members. All the money that we receive is going to go funnel back into this to hire more journalists and do more things for you guys, because that's how winning is done. It really is. We got a merch store and stuff. You can help there, and if you can't help via money, you can always just leave a comment, and share this out there, because that helps us more than you can immensely know. That's the best way to help. Just leave a comment, and share. And if you're listening to us, leave a review. Leave a good review. Help us boost us in the podcast ratings and get us up there, because that's how winning is done. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.